Imagine living inside a concrete hard moving box that is exactly 2.55 meters wide, completely isolated from the outside world, for up to 3 weeks straight. In America, long-haul semi-trucks are massive rolling apartments with full-size beds, refrigerators, and hoods that stretch out like muscle cars. But in Europe, the law forces engineers into a brutal zero-sum game. Every single millimeter of space you give to the driver is a millimeter stolen from the cargo payload. Give the driver a bigger bed, and the company loses millions in freight revenue. This forces a crazy engineering challenge. Build a luxury, high-tech apartment inside a space smaller than a walk-in closet, and slap it directly on top of a screaming 600-horsepower diesel engine. Welcome to the hidden genius of European Cabover design. To understand how drivers survive in these hyper-compressed spaces, you have to understand the EU Weights and Dimensions Directive. Unlike the United States, where length limits generally apply only to the trailer, European law measures the entire truck from bumper to bumper. The hard limit for a standard tractor-trailer combination is exactly 16.5 meters. If your truck is even 1 centimeter too long, the border police will fine you thousands of euros and impound your cargo. Because of this, European manufacturers like Volvo, Scania, and Mercedes-Benz had to completely delete the front hood. This is called a cab-over engine, or COE design. By placing the driver directly on top of the engine block, engineers instantly save up to 2 full meters of vehicle length. That saved space is converted directly into massive profit-generating trailer volume. But this creates a terrifying engineering problem. The engine block generates temperatures exceeding 200 degrees Celsius and deafening noise levels that can destroy human hearing over long distances. To fix this, the entire cab structure doesn't actually sit on the truck frame. It floats. The cabin is mounted on an independent 4-point air suspension system separate from the wheels. When the tires hit a massive pothole on the Autobahn, the wheels slam violent kinetic energy upward. But specialized pneumatic actuators absorb the shock instantly, letting the driver float smoothly in midair. To block out the heat and the mechanical scream of the engine, manufacturers line the floor with multi-layered acoustic barriers and advanced thermal shields. It transforms a chaotic industrial machine into a near-silent sensory deprivation chamber. But the real magic happens when the wheels stop spinning and the cockpit transforms into a living space. When a European truck driver pulls into a rest stop, they don't just step into the back of the cab. They activate a hyper-dense workspace that operates like premium Swiss Army gear. Because the flat front wall leaves no room for standard doors or wardrobes, every single piece of furniture must perform at least 2 or 3 completely different functions. Take the driver's seat. During a 9-hour shift, it uses internal air bladders to dynamically adjust to the driver's spine, cooling or heating the body. But the moment the driver goes off-duty, a single mechanical release valve allows the seat to swivel a full 180 degrees backward, instantly turning the steering cockpit into a living room lounge. Directly behind the seats sits the primary lower bed. In premium configurations like the Volvo Globetrotter XXL, engineers hit a massive legal wall. They wanted to make the bed wider for proper sleep, but the strict length laws made it illegal. So, they used a genius legal loophole. Recent changes in European Union aero laws allowed cabs to be slightly extended only if it improved wind resistance. Engineers reshaped the outer shell to smoothly cut through air current. But wait! How do you fit a kitchen, a workstation, and a refrigerator under a bed? You build it like an industrial drawer system. Hidden completely flat beneath the main mattress platform are heavy-duty sliding rails. Pull the first latch, and a dual-zone electronic refrigerator rolls out, capable of keeping food frozen in extreme summer heat. Pull the second latch, and an integrated dining table swings upward on a gas strut hinge, complete with built-in cutouts for magnetic cups so drinks don't spill when the cabin rocks from high highway winds. Above the windshield, where American trucks have empty space or simple visors, European rigs feature deep aircraft-style storage lockers. Inside these composite pods, factories integrate custom microwave ovens and capsule coffee makers wired directly into a specialized 24-volt electrical system. But this hyper-dense design introduces a fatal hidden flaw that every driver fears. In an American long-nose truck, if the engine suffers a mechanical failure, the driver simply pulls a couple of latches, lifts the fiberglass hood, and steps onto the pavement to fix it. The living space remains completely undisturbed. In a European Cabover, the engine is literally under your bed. This means if a single oil line leaks or a sensor fails, the entire living room has to be physically inverted. To perform maintenance, the driver must first secure every single loose object inside the cabin. A loose coffee mug, a laptop, or an unbolted microwave will turn into a destructive missile if left unsecured. Once the interior is locked down, an external hydraulic pump activates. The entire multi-ton cabin tilts forward on massive front hinges at a steep 60-degree angle. Suddenly, your bed is vertical. Your dashboard is pointing directly at the ground, and your home is hanging in mid-air over a bare chassis. If you forgot to lock the refrigerator door, your entire week of groceries is now smashed against the windshield. This extreme compactness also changes how these trucks survive catastrophic impacts. People assume flat-faced trucks are unsafe because there is no engine hood to absorb a head-on collision. To counter this, European safety mandates require the cab structure to be built from ultra-high-strength hot-formed steel. During a severe front crash, the entire cabin mounts are engineered to shear away intentionally. Instead of crumpling down and crushing the occupant, the complete capsule slides backward along the chassis frame, using the rear space as a giant kinetic energy buffer. It is an incredibly complex, expensive way to build a vehicle, all driven by a single legal framework. European trucks are a masterclass in spatial efficiency, transforming a cold legal restriction into a miracle of mechanical engineering. They prove that when you limit space down to the millimeter, human ingenuity expands to fill the gap. But this ultra-compact design isn't the only radical way engineers are changing the global shipping network. If you think squeezing a luxury apartment into a flat-faced truck is insane, wait until you see how heavy maritime logistics forces tugboats to channel more raw horsepower than 20 semi-trucks combined just to move a single cargo ship through a narrow canal. If you want to decode the hidden engineering of the world's most powerful machines before anyone else, hit that subscribe button right now.